Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets here on the Mayo Media Network. We are presented by PrizePicks.com. Head on over to PrizePicks.com. Use the code MMNMLB, as in Mayo Media Network MLB, when you sign up today. If you haven't checked out PrizePicks.com, really cool site where you're betting on overs and unders on fantasy points. You can parlay them together. You can play them single. But it's a good time over there. A lot of places won't let you parlay player props. This is one of the places that will. So hopefully you can get a big return on your investment. Use the code MMNMLB. My name's David Jones from the FTN Network, at Tenacious D Jones on Twitter. And you can check out all my content for the full slate and for NFL and NBA when that comes back over at FTN Bets and FTNDaily.com. We're going to be talking about the DraftKings MLB slate this Thursday. Short slate on a Thursday, only 5 games. Potential weather concerns in the Boston game. I'm recording this the night before, so be sure to check that out. If we've got some rain there, it's only going to be a 4-game slate potentially. But hey, it's super early. I don't really know what's going on there. It just looks like there might be some rain. So, doesn't look like too hard of a slate, but when you have compact games like this, you have to get a little bit different with your hitters. So stack up a team, use some one-off bats around it, hopefully get lucky that way. That's probably what I'll be doing. I'll be paying up for bats and probably be paying up for pitcher. Let's talk about who we're going to use. You can look up at Freddie Peralta up top. Don't hate it against Pittsburgh. They don't strike out a ton, but they also don't score a ton of runs. Makes enough sense. That's fine. Might do that. But I'm definitely going to use Frankie Montas going up against the LA Angels and Alex Cobb. The Angels, what they're rolling out here lately, it hasn't been a great lineup. They're not going to have Jared Walsh. They're obviously not going to have Mike Trout. The only people you really have to worry about is Ohtani, and then Ohtani the next time he comes around, because that guy is good. He could go deep twice. Look, Max Stassi could get in the mix some. Justin Upton's back. He's been a little bit cold lately. Could get in the mix, but aside from that, you're really not worried about any of the other bats. I mean, I'm looking over everyone's numbers right here. They're really not good. They need to get healthy. They need Walsh back. They need Trout back if they're going to make any kind of run. I don't know if they can anymore. Ohtani can't do it all on his own, or can he? I don't know. But Frankie Montas been pretty good on the season. 4.38 ERA doesn't sound great. It's not great, but overall, strikeout stuff's been good. 25.3% K. XFIP of 3.86. Walk rate's very good, 6.2%, which means 2.41 walks per 9. That's a good stat. Ground ball stuff's okay. 41.6% of his pitches go for ground balls. But look, it's a short slate, and you've got to pick 1 out of 10 pitchers, maybe 8 pitchers on this slate today. I think he's probably going to be your safest arm going up against the Angels, who I just do not have any faith in. He should go 6 innings. He's been going 6 innings. They'll run him over 100 pitches if they have to. I think the Oakland A's are in line for a win here, which is also going to give him some extra points. The Angels strike out 8.5 times a game, which is average. But, hey, it's a small slate, and you've got to find somewhere you want to attack. And I think he can get, 7 strikeouts here? I think he's getting at least 6, maybe go for 8. Match that average against the Angels, and I think he got 8 against them last time he went out, 8 or 9. He had a good game. Mentioned it earlier, 28.2 DraftKings points. So Frankie Montas, I'll spend up for him. Might spend up for the other pitcher. Might spend down. Not exactly sure yet. It's still early. I want to see what other lineups these teams roll out. Go check out FTNDaily.com tomorrow, and we will have another pitcher for you. So then we have to choose which stack we're going to pick. Look, I think it's pretty easy tomorrow. You've got to choose between the Brewers, the Pirates, Baltimore, Detroit, Oakland, LA. We're not playing LA, Colorado, San Diego. And, of course, if Toronto and Boston plays, you're going to have some interest there. The top team I'm going to have tomorrow, it's going to have to be the San Diego Padres. Been a little bit cold lately, admittedly, but that doesn't mean that they still don't have a stacked lineup, and doesn't mean that they can't get it going, right? So the Padres are going to be going up against Kyle Freeland of the Colorado Rockies, right? So 4.86 ERA, which is not terrible, especially for a pitcher pitching in Coors. K stuff is not good. Only 17.4% K rate. Walk stuff higher than Montas, 7.4% walk stuff. And The last two games, he's been very good at preventing walks. Just to, tip my hat to him. He has allowed 0 walks over the last two games. That is not sustainable, especially against the Padres. So, yeah, I think Freeland's going to be in for some trouble, allowing 1.78 home runs per nine. That's the second worst of his career. 17.7 home run to fly ball rate, second worst of his career. 4.77 xFIP, second worst of his career. He's allowed 7 runs in his last 3 starts, which is 2 homers in those 7 runs. And he's allowed 8 runs to the Padres the last 2 times that he played the Padres. So average 4 runs per game. It wasn't that exactly, but you get the picture. Padres have hit him pretty well in the past. I think one of those games was in Coors, one was in San Diego. I think you can go back to the boys here for San Diego, Slam Diego, starting with, of course, Fernando Tatis Jr. against the lefty. He hits lefties, he hits righties. It doesn't really matter. 4 homers in his last 62 at-bats against lefties, hitting .330 WOBA, .260 ISO. I like him. Newly acquired Adam Frazier, who's been leading off, also hits lefties. I expect him to get going in San Diego, especially if he's still in that leadoff spot. He should be hitting .360 his last 104 at-bats with 3 homers, 190 ISO. Wish it was a little bit higher, but he can definitely get on base against lefties. Tommy Pham, if he's in the lineup, he's going to be in a good spot. 3 homers last 65 at-bats. Eric Hosmer, if he's in the lineup, should be 3 homers last 70 at-bats. Jake Cronenworth would be after that for him. And then Will Myers. Will Myers traditionally hits lefties well. This season, been a little bit worse than he has in the past, but that doesn't mean he's bad. Hitting .330 against lefties and 55 at-bats with 2 home runs and in a nice, juicy spot in that batting order. I think the Padres take it to Freeland. Maybe the highest scoring team of the slate. I would expect them to be, even though admittedly, Freeland hasn't been just god-awful terrible every start so far this season like we're accustomed to. Been better in some aspects of his pitching game, been worse in some aspects of his pitching game. I think it lines up the best for the Padres on the short slate tomorrow, so I'm going to have to go with the Padres. Follow along if you want. I think it makes sense. Next, we're going to have to choose some one-off hitters. A lot of value not popping up right now, but I can tell you some good bats that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow, starting with Eric Haas, a guy we were hot on early in the season going up against Alexander Wells. He's a lefty. Eric Haas hits lefties very well his last 65 at-bats. I believe he has 8 home runs, might be 7, hitting .450 ISO, .460 WOBA, not a small sample size. Eric Haas is going to be my favorite one-off bat tomorrow for the Detroit Tigers. After that, Seti Mullins of the Orioles. Orioles put up a lot of runs Wednesday night. Probably can do it again, or maybe not the whole squad. They're not going to put up that many runs. They're not going up against the Miami Marlins in the bullpen. But against Casey Mize, Seti Mullins can get to him. His last 222 at-bats, hitting .400 with 9 homers, .230 ISO. He's going to be in a good spot on Thursday night. Avisail Garcia going up against Chad Cool Garcia of the Milwaukee Brewers. They've been starting off hot the past couple nights. Put up a lot of runs on Tuesday night in the first 2 or 3 innings, and then last night kind of sprinkled it on, or Wednesday night kind of sprinkled it on all throughout the game. Got some runs up going up against Chad Cool, who's someone that you probably want to target too. I do like the Brewers stack somewhat. And if you want a BVP stack, Garcia's hit Chad Cool 75% of the time he's seen him, or it's only 4 at-bats, so kind of an inflated stat there. 4 at-bats, 3 hits, including 1 homer. Should be hitting cleanup for the Brewers. I like it. Hunter Renfroe is my next bat. Versus a lefty, Hunter Renfroe hits lefties well. Again, we have to watch the weather here. And he's going up against Ryu of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's a good pitcher, but you got to find a couple spots to target. They should put up a run or 2 at least. For Boston, great hitting team. Renfroe will save you a little bit of a salary. Probably my least favorite bat out of those 4, but if I have to choose some from Boston, that's probably who I'm going to go with as somewhat of a value stick. Last 93 at-bats, hitting .380 off lefties, and that's what we have on Thursday night. So that was pretty easy. If I'm going to take a couple bats, or not bats, take a couple bets, I'm probably going to go with the Oakland and Angels game under. I don't like the Angels at all, and Oakland been sputtering a little bit lately. I don't see a ton of runs in this game. 8.5 seems high. I'm going to go under the 8.5. And only 5 games, so I had to kind of search for this one, but I'll keep leaning on the Padres, and I'm gonna take the spread because the money line's too ridiculous. It's the money you don't want to do that. It's like minus 280 or something for the Padres to win on the money line. They should be able to beat the Rockies. The Rockies are going to be traveling. To San Diego. I think they can get them by 2 runs. So let's go with Padres minus 1.5 at minus 110, 120, something like that last time I looked. So hop on that if you want to. More confident in the Oakland Angels under bet though. So appreciate you watching. Quick show today. Not a lot of games, but feel pretty confident about the pitcher. Feel pretty confident about the stack. Hopefully it can help you profit. Again, be sure to go over to prizepicks.com. Use that promo code MLB when you sign up today. Good luck on Thursday night, and I will see you again on Friday. Let's get some big money. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.